This is your local election headquarters.
Welcome back. A group of students at Southern University invited an African queen to visit Baton Rouge this week, and she answered the call and accepted the invite. The queen was part of a roundtable to brainstorm ideas for opportunities in Buganda. Sydney Simone shares more.
Your Royal Highness, Sylvia Njinda Luswata, the Queen of Buganda.
Buganda is a kingdom within Uganda, and it's located in the central part of the country. It has been in existence for over 800 years.
Taking her aspirations across the border and making her way through Baton Rouge, speaking to entrepreneurs and touring Nexus, Louisiana, a technology park.
We felt that children that age, we needed to arm them with tools that can help them.
Most of the Queen's work revolves around women and children. She hopes to create a global village that provides education and resources.
Being a coder or learning technology is so important for youth because it's the future.
Calvin Mills Jr. with Nexus is appointed as a special advisor of the Queen to build a center for excellence in Buganda that focuses on entrepreneurship and innovative technology.
This now allows us to have an even bigger bridge that we can make for those entrepreneurs.
Leroy's Lip Smack and Lemonade Chief Financial Officer Cliff Gaines' nephew inspired his family business and says this is the start of fostering international relationships for entrepreneurs.
We really should be reaching out more. And so having events like this is something that we need to see more of.
Sydney Simone, NBC Local 33 News.
Researchers are calling on policymakers to act fast when it comes to saving our coast. Coastal restoration plays a vital part in protecting and providing for our state, but researchers are concerned that we may be running out of time and money. They say we've made great progress since the coastal restoration plan began more than a decade ago, but they want to make sure policymakers know how vital it is that we move quickly.
We just want to really make sure that we're being efficient as a state, that we're getting the most benefit we can out of every dollar spent, which means moving projects forward quickly once they've been identified and kind of tested and shown to be good projects.
Funding for many of these coastal projects comes from a settlement with BP after the Deepwater Horizon oil spill. Those funds are being distributed over a 15-year period and are expected to be fully dispersed by the year 2031. A lot of homeowners in Louisiana are still coping with the aftermath of Hurricane Ida. Since then, finding and paying for homeowners insurance has been a roller coaster ride. Reporter Stephanie Oswald brings us some expert advice.
No matter how many hurricanes are predicted for 2024, one storm has already arrived.
Louisiana is in the midst of an insurance crisis, and the truth is that Louisiana families and small businesses are the ones who are suffering the most. Ratepayers in Louisiana desperately need some relief.
Ben Riggs is a member of Real Reform Louisiana, a nonprofit, nonpartisan organization fighting for lower insurance rates. He says legislation that could have helped consumers never came to fruition. And as for the incentive package that promised to bring in more options,
it happened, it just didn't do anything to make Louisiana's market more competitive.
When it comes to insurance, there's not much good news for Louisiana residents. And if you live in a coastal parish, experts say the situation is going from bad to worse, meaning along with sky-high insurance bills, many residents will also be receiving cancellation notices.
Most homeowners and small business owners in Louisiana have lived under an environment where there was a rule in place that prevented their insurance company from dropping them after they'd been with them for 3 years. That's no longer the case.
This longtime claim adjuster says, read the fine print.
I'd say 95% of people never read their policy. They don't know what their coverage is. Don't trust that your agent is going to just give you a good policy. Read it and make sure first. Speak to an advisor, whether it be an adjuster or an attorney. If something is important to you, like your pool, you definitely want to ask your agent. I spent $15,000 on my pool. I need to know that I have enough coverage in my policy, so if something happened to my pool, I'd have enough to do it again.
And he says, you get what you pay for.
Unfortunately, just asking for the cheapest policy possible is just asking for trouble. You need to voice how you're truly feeling about your home to your agent and then make your agents compete against each other.
Something else you should be doing right now, taking photos.
You want to take photos before something happens. You want to take photos right after they've happened. You take photos after you start the repairs.
Another tip?
Well, you always want to attach your fence to your house via a screw or a bracket of some sort. This will make sure that that goes under your dwelling coverage and not your other structures coverage.
Control what you can, because there's one thing you have no power over: severe weather.